What's up, guys? Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Stina's Kitchen. I am Stina, if you don't know, and today we are going to be making some good old-fashioned Southern style cabbage with bacon, just like your grandma used to make. So if you want to see how I make this amazing dish, you need to keep watching. Let's go to the video now. Wait a minute, if you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video and hit the subscribe button. Now let's make some cabbage.
Okay guys, so to start with, I have two big old heads of cabbage here that I just purchased from, I think I got it from Walmart if I'm not mistaken. Now here's how I do my cabbage. I rinse the full heads in the sink. I cut off those outer leaves, then I go ahead and cut it up, okay? And then after it is cut, I wash the pieces yet again. So I basically wash my cabbage twice just because I feel like it gets a lot cleaner if you're washing it after it's cut up as opposed to washing it like as it's whole right there. So I'm just kind of gonna cut my cabbage into strips and then cut those into squares because I like my cabbage to be in cubes and squares, if that makes sense. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see how I do it once again. Like after I have those first few leaves cut, I just cut it into like plates like this and just chop all of them. So easy to do. Gonna zoom in so you can see exactly how I'm doing it, and once I get this all cut up, I'm going to give it one more great wash in the sink. Keep in mind, if this is one of your first times making cabbage, you're gonna have a pretty hard core there in the middle and you can just throw that away. Some people choose to cook it and eat it, and that is totally fine. We actually don't eat ours because it's a little too tough. So I have one head done. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other head done as well. Now at this point I have my cast iron skillet because sis, if it's not in a cast iron skillet, like I can't get with it. It just has to be there. I'm gonna go ahead and put in about 1.5 cups of water and then a tablespoon of butter, okay? So that's going to get all mixed together. That butter is going to melt. Then I'm going to go through with my chicken bouillon powder. Just going to sprinkle about a tablespoon in there in that water. I'm going to mix it up really good. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making a chicken broth. I'm just using the water and the chicken bouillon and sticking that in there and making a chicken broth. I like to cook my cabbage in a chicken broth, but if you use like just a chicken stock, sometimes it can get a little salty, so I like to make my own with a bouillon. Next, I'm going to do some seasoning so far. I'm going to use some granulated garlic, sprinkle it all over the top. It may look like I'm using a lot, but remember we do have 2 heads of cabbage. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little more of that chicken flavored bouillon powder in just to make sure that it has a nice chickeny taste to it. I'm also going to go in with some black pepper and some onion powder. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of both, maybe a little bit more of the onion powder, just because, you guys, I like my cabbage seasoned really good. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge cabbage eater, but when I do eat it, it has to be on point. So now that you have all of your seasonings, and just going to try to give everything a nice stir, put some of that warm water on top of that cabbage that you have piled up. If you're doing 2 heads like me, your pan is going to look a little bit crowded and you may think your pan is not big enough, but trust me, you're good. So let's talk about seasoning your cabbage. You need to have a meat in there as well. I chose some apple smoked bacon this time. I used to flavor my cabbage with smoked sausage, but babe wanted me to try bacon one day and he actually really liked it, so we just kind of switched it to that, and I can save my smoked sausage for myself. So instead of just cooking the bacon in strips, I decided to go ahead and just slice them up. You don't have to do it, but I was able to fit more bacon on my tray because babe does like a lot of bacon in his cabbage, so it's almost like a meal in itself. You know what I mean? You have your vegetable there, you have your meat there. So I'm just going to put all of that bacon on this microwave safe dish and go ahead and stick it in the microwave to cook. Okay guys, so this is how my cabbage is looking so far. You can see it's starting to wilt around, and I had that on a medium-high heat. And now that some of the cabbage that was on top is kind of down in the pan, I'm going to season it one more time here. I know it looks like a lot of seasoning, but trust me, it was great. So I add about 2 tablespoons more of the chicken bouillon powder. I'm going to go in with another 2 to 3 cups of water, because now I'm basically boiling it in this chicken stock. So I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm also going to turn my heat down to maybe medium low this time, and I'm just going to cover it with some foil. I don't have a lid for this cast iron skillet, so you know, you just kind of have to make it do what it do. So I just cover it with some foil. Cooking time has elapsed about 10 minutes. I'm just going to season it one more time, and trust me, I made so much cabbage and I was using so little seasoning, so that's why I'm seasoning it kind of over and over. And once it melts down in the pot and I'm able to stir it, I'm seasoning the new section that really didn't get any seasoning, if that makes sense. If you guys get what I'm saying, definitely leave a comment down below. But this cabbage came out so good. You're probably thinking like, girl, that's way too much seasoning. I'm watching the video, I'm kind of thinking that myself, but trust me, it was great and it wasn't salty. Also, my secret weapon is smoked paprika. That is one of my favorite seasonings. You will see me use it a whole lot, but it definitely kicks up this cabbage. One thing I forgot to show you that I did not film because I just kind of did it quickly was I also added about a tablespoon and a half, or I'm sorry, about a teaspoon and a half or 2 teaspoons of sugar. It does not make the cabbage sweet at all. However, it definitely balances out some of the tones of the flavors that we already put in, and it just makes it oh so delicious. Okay guys, so after giving it a stir and letting it cook just a little while longer, you see my bacon is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bacon just right on top. And then I'm going to do something that a lot of you all just may be highly offended about. If you are, I apologize in advance. I'm so sorry, but I'm showing you how I really make this. I am going to pour that bacon grease over that cabbage. That is going to mix in with that water and that little itty bitty piece of butter that we put in. And this is just about to kick your dish up to like the 1000th degree. Like, trust me, it's amazing. So I'm just going to stir it in just a little bit. Once again, I'm putting my spoon towards the bottom, bringing that water up and pouring it over the cabbage that's at the top. Just making sure nothing is sticking since we are using that cast iron skillet. And I'm going to cover it one more time. And look at this, you guys. This is the finished product. How freaking amazing and delicious does this look? When I tell you, JT was standing around with a plate, fork, and napkin ready because he was so excited about this. Now, also I like to sprinkle just a little smoked paprika over the top. More so for like looks and aesthetics than anything, but I also stir just a little bit of it in so it's not quite so heavy. You know, you don't just get a big spoonful of paprika. But if you guys have liked this video, definitely hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let me show you the rest of our meal that we had. We just had some chicken, broccoli, some candied yams, and then this cabbage, you guys. It was A1. Definitely leave me a comment down below. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.